Well, it's certainly my pleasure to be acting as the MC for this event this evening, and I will call the meeting to order and welcome everyone in attendance to this event, being the presentation of awards for the 2019-2020 Rotary year and the installation of our district governor for the 2020-21 Rotary year, Carol Tichelman. You know, it certainly has been an extraordinary year. Just a year ago, we met in Abbotsford to celebrate Brad Whittaker's installation as our 2019-20 district governor. And now we're meeting in the cloud with Rotarians participating from all corners of the district and beyond. Our district is located within the traditional territory of the Coast Salish people, and we acknowledge and appreciate that they are sharing this wonderful land with us. We will now pause for the presentation of the national anthems of the United States of America and Canada. Alan, please.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose sunshines and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the land was we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare come on bursting in air, in blue through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, sailors, that star-spangled banner yet wave. O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land, glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Some of those basses sounded like women.
Thank you, Alan. I'd now like to call upon our district governor-elect, Bev Harrington, to provide her thought for this special day. Bev.
As we join together, we will reflect on what has been this past Rotary year and what will be. For just a moment, we are in between. Let us take this moment to be grateful for the wisdom of those who came before us, who set up a process of an annual transition from one district governor to another that allows us to leave the familiar and step into the future with confidence. For gratitude for what has been and excitement about what will be, as Rotarians, we move forward with shared values and purpose, doing good in the world.
Thank you, Bev. It's now my pleasure to introduce a number of our Rotary dignitaries and special guests that are with us this afternoon. First, past Rotary International Vice President Dean Roars and Rhino. District Governor Catherine Gibson from District 5030. District Governor Dave Hamilton and Tanya from District 5040. Past District Governor Lee Higginbotham and Philomena from District 5040. Past District Governor Dave Robinson. Past District Governor Dick Drew and Aileen. Past District Governor Gary Hollick and Nita. Past District Governor Rod Thompson and Kathy. Past District Governor Larry Juby and Linda. Past District Governor Wayne Weeb and Arlene. Past District Governor Hans Doge from District 5040. Past District Governor Sean Hogan and Carol. Past District Governor Dennis Boyd and Maureen. Past District Governor Ezra Tichelman from District 5030. Past District Governor and current Rotary Coordinator for Zone 28 West, Bill Robson. Past District Governor Linda Murray, and I noticed she had some special guests with her. Past District Governor Linda Jean Coyle. Past District Governor Dan Doherty and Marlene from District 5360. Past District Governor Brad Whittaker and Kim Isaac. District Governor-elect Bev Harrington. District Governor nominee Rajagopal, Assistant Rotary Coordinator and District 5050 Rotaract Chair Phoenix McLaren. Our assistant governors will be introduced a little later in the program. And we also have some special guests of District Governor Carol. Her brother Bob, his wife Tracy, and their children Elizabeth and Richard. Her youngest brother Randy, his wife Nicole, and their children Jeffrey, Laura, and Mary. A warm welcome to all of our Rotary dignitaries and special guests. And with that, I declare all necessary protocols duly observed. And at this time, I would like to call upon our immediate past District Governor Brad to present the awards for the 2019-2020 Rotary year. Brad.
Thank you, PDG Larry. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening. Alan, I believe we have a screenshot. I'd like to give out the awards. These awards are for at the district level. And I can have the next slide, please, Alan. We are having a special club awards ceremony where the district will hand out the usual club awards that we do, and best project, rookie of the year, and things like that. That will happen in a special event on September 19th on a Saturday, and of course it will be virtual. Now, it's been an inauspicious beginning to the Rotary year in 2019 is for very good reasons. Some people could not continue in their roles. And so we had some people resigning because of work and family. So it was a search for some people to step into roles. I didn't take it personally, well, maybe I should have, but so it was an inauspicious start. For one thing, we had to find a chair for the district finance committee. Some couldn't do it because of their position in the financial institutions, prohibiting them from taking on that role. Had to find a chair for the district membership committee, a chair for the district communications committee. And so some people stepped up. And the first one I'd like to thank is these people took on extra roles that they didn't have to. And I'd like to go to the next slide and thank Dave Duskin, who gets a District Governor Step Up Award for doing a great job as communications chair, as well as being an assistant governor. So thank you very much, Dave, for that. The design of the certificate looks a little better than it does on screen. My photography skills are a little off. And then when I asked PDG Dennis Boyd if he would take on the role of finance chair, he said yes. And he also took on the role of membership chair at the same time when we were at the Institute in Niagara Falls. So it was amazing. And so I want to thank Dennis Boyd for stepping up. But having two roles at once was a bit much. So who else stepped up but PDG and Vice Governor Linda Jean Coyle volunteered to take on the role of Finance Committee. So all of these people stepped up to do that role. So I'm very grateful to them. And the one, thank you, Linda Jean. And the one group that stepped up, just don't do the slide yet, please, was a group of the Rotary Youth Exchange Executive Committee. As you can realize during the COVID situation, we had people who were around the world in different countries with different languages. We had people here, and they worked tirelessly for 6 months to make the wishes of parents and students come true, whether they wanted to stay or come home early. So next slide, please. I'm giving them the Step Up Award for them. And I know this personally because we also had a long talks throughout that 6-month period. So thank you for all of those. Now, usually at the district conference, they give out a Ron Goldfinch Award. Ron Goldfinch was a member of the Rotary Club of Chilliwack. He was a very active Rotarian at both the club level and the district level. He was an assistant governor. He was the epitome of a Rotarian. He was very involved in Rotary Youth Exchange. And for me, he was my first mentor in Rotary. I would phone him and ask him about to get information or ask him for advice and guidance. And he always gave great wisdom. And I followed that. And I was very grateful for that. So we have 2 this year, Goldfinch Awards. The first one is is Kevin Wood. Kevin Wood was the chair of the District Conference Committee, a committee that was the best district conference that never happened. Kevin and his group and the committee members worked tirelessly for over 2 years. We were going to have almost 300 people at that conference, great entertainment, great speakers, a great setting. And so we were so disappointed in about 5 weeks before we had to cancel it, obviously. But thank you, Kevin, so much. And Kevin also is a past district trainer, past assistant governor, and also the website coordinator for this year, past year, and continues to do so. So thank you, Kevin. Wait for the next slide, Alan, please. The other person is someone, and I usually give one award, but I couldn't help this one. And some people say, well, I know why you gave it out. It's because she provided you with so much assistance as district governor. Next slide, please. So I'd like to give it to Pat Bond. And you'll see under the name, everything. Because I learned throughout the year that not only did she have to support this this district governor for the past year, but also she was involved in membership. She was involved with the backpack program for kids. She was involved with Networking Plus, all sorts of things. Whenever it says, well, if I've talked to her, she'd say, I just got off the phone with so-and-so or off the computer with this. So Pat, thank you for everything that you do. It's absolutely wonderful. Thank you. Congratulations on your award. And please keep going. Now, not the next slide, just keep that slide there. We have 4 awards for Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation. And we're going to ask each of these people who receive these awards if they'd like to speak after I do the presentation. The first one is a Rotary International Service Award for a polio-free world. Now, this honors Rotarians who've made an outstanding contribution to our polio eradication efforts, and the individuals can be nominated for a regional or international award. And 2 years ago, this person received a regional award, and now, because of his great work of raising $50,000 and going from Peking to Paris, next slide, please. I'm so pleased to say that Lee Harmon and probably Miss Vicky have received an award. Next slide, please. For doing all the way along, being I think one of 9 cars that made it across the finish line. The next slide. And here's your International Service Award, Lee, for a polio-free world. Thank you for all that you've done to eradicate polio. And if you'd like to say a few words, Lee, I'll ask Alan to unmute you, or you can unmute.
I'm well, I'm very gratified. Thank you so much. Surprised and feel unworthy. This has been a huge project, and so many people have been involved. And I want to thank so many Rotarians that all participated and gave us encouragement. And having said all of that, you've heard me say before, I owe more to Rotary than I can ever give back, and I really feel that strongly. Bill and I have talked about the trip, and we were one of 21 vehicles to go the entire distance under our own power. 103 actually made it to Paris, but we made it the whole way. We only had two goals: to go to finish the thing entirely by ourselves, and then to be friends at the end of it. And after 6 weeks of very close personal interactions, we managed to do both of those things. Thank you very much for this award. I would just want to say that it's not over yet. How many years have we been after it? We can't stop now. So I'll be involved in the future, and I know all of you will too. Thank you very much, Governor Brad. I appreciate that. Very kind of you.
Not my kind. It's all the work that you've done, and we're very grateful for that work. I know it was a jogging and sometimes a perilous trip. So thank you for all that you've done. Very, very well deserved. Thank you.
Oh, that's kind of you. Thank you.
The next award is the Citation for Meritorious Service. Now, this award recognizes an individual Rotarians who demonstrated outstanding active service to the Rotary Foundation for more than 1 year. Some examples include service on foundation committees at the club, district, or international levels, participation in foundation grants or programs, support of ambassadorial scholars, Rotary Peace Fellows, group study, exchange teams, or vocational teams. I'm very pleased to announce the Citation for Meritorious Service Award is being awarded to past District Governor Larry Stinson. And you can see on the slide there a number of things there. I'd just like to read out a couple of things. Larry joined Rotary in 1993 and was our district governor in 2008, 2009. He's a major donor, a benefactor. In 2004, Larry went on a wheelchair delivery trip, igniting his passion for international service in the Rotary Foundation, and has served on the club committee ever since. Larry served on 5 foundation-funded Rotoplast Alliance for Smile surgical missions to China at his own expense. He's also involved in all things foundation, including in hosting or sending 2 GSE teams, 2 ambassadorial scholars. And for 3 years, Larry was the District 50/50 representative to CRCID, the precursor of the current Government of Canada TRF Global Grant Matching Fund program. He was the Assistant Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator, Zone 24 West in 2015-17. Thank you, Larry, for all your service, and congratulations. I'll turn it over to you. Next one slide. There we are.
Thank you very much, Brad. That comes as a huge surprise, just like with Lee. And I think the only thing I would like to say is that we've probably seen that in this past year, the need for the Rotary Foundation is greater than ever. And I think we will all continue to do everything we can to support it so that it continue its good works around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry. The next award is the Service Above Self Award. Now, this is Rotary's highest honor for individual Rotarians and recognizes only up to 150 Rotarians annually who have demonstrated exemplary humanitarian service with an emphasis on personal volunteer efforts and active involvement in helping others through Rotary. I'm very honored to say that the recipient of the Service Above Self Award is past District Governor Rod Thompson. Next. And you can see what Rod has. This is just a sample. I'd just like to read a bit for you. He was the district governor, obviously, in 2006, 2007. He's currently the district trainer. He's been on the Youth Exchange Committee for 10 years, been still involved with Rotary Leadership Institute, faculty and visioning team from 2000 to present. He's a finance chair from 2009 to 13, GSE team leader in 2002. And beyond the club and district, Rod has served for many years and still serves on the operation. Well, I think he's just off this year, on the operations committee to organize and run multi-district Pacific Northwest PETS. He coordinated plenary sessions at Zone Conference. He has trained many Rotarians, an RI training leader, International Assembly. He's in the Zone Public Image Resource Group, an RI Public Image Coordinator. Twice he was the RI President's representative. He was instrumental in launching and running the Rotary Canada Regional Magazine since 2007. Rod has been very involved for years in the CRCID board and again instrumental in Afghanistan School CRID Centennial Project. Rod has also served in so many ways and is very generous with his time and talent. He is a much sought after presenter and always a willing, passionate, and well-received program guest speaker at any Rotary meeting. He's a volunteer driver for many school sports and band events, a chaperone, equipment truck driver. He's involved with all fundraising campaigns for children's schools, a chaperone for graduation parties. Rod has served his country for over 20 years as a volunteer in the reserves of the Canadian Armed Forces, rising to the rank of captain. For over 30 years, he has assisted his wife to convene at least 3 separate children's Christmas parties. He received the Avenues of Service citation in 2002 and 3, and he and his wife Kathy have been host parents to over a dozen Rotary Youth Exchange, hosted numerous GSA teams and leaders, and our major donors. Thank you so much, Rod, for your service over the many years. We're in your debt. Rod, would you like this next slide, please? There we go. Go ahead, Rod.
Well, thank you ever so much to everyone involved with this. As Lee said earlier, and as I think everyone on this call will agree, we get so much back from Rotary, much more than ever we can put in. It's really just such a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for anybody to get involved with Rotary, to serve at the club level, to have the opportunity to serve beyond the club level at the district level, and the wonderful folks that you meet in Rotary clubs, Rotary districts, and around the Rotary world is really the benefit that each and every one of us get. And many of you on this call are people that I call friends, and some of you are mentors. Dave Robinson, who was a mentor to me as I moved through to become district governor. Dean Roars, with whom I've served, just wonderful opportunity with her, and many of the other past district governors with whom I've served. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate that you've recognized my service, but I thank you for those opportunities.
Well done, Rod.
Thank you very much, Rod, and thank you for taking advantage of those opportunities and doing such wonderful work for Rotary. The last award, which I will explain to you, is the Rotary Foundation Distinguished Service Award. This award is an internationally competitive award granted annually to a maximum of 50 Rotarians who have exhibited exceptional active service to the Rotary Foundation. And this year, only 42 awards were granted. The trustees of the Rotary Foundation give this award to those Rotarians who have rendered exceptional service to the foundation beyond the district level or for an extended period of time. Because this is the foundation's highest service recognition, a recipient's exemplary service to the foundation must extend beyond the district level and occur over an extended period of time, as I mentioned. I'm very pleased and honored to announce that this year the Rotary Foundation Distinguished Service Award will be going to past District Governor Dave Robinson. It shows you there just a little bit, and I'd like to read about Dave. It shows he was a district governor in 1999-2000. He was a district representative as a director of the boards for CRCID, the Canadian Rotary Collaboration for International Development, from 2001 to 6. He served as vice president of this national board 2002 to 6 and president 2006 to 08. After his tenure as director of this board, Dave continued to be involved in a very important advisory capacity until the CRCID was dissolved in 2016. Dave also chaired the National Canadian Rotary Centennial Project Committee from 2009 to 13. This committee, in collaboration with the Canadian International Development Agency, CRCID, and TRF Canada, constructed a school in Afghanistan, which was a gift to Afghanistan from the Rotary clubs in Canada on the centennial anniversary of Rotary in Canada. In both these capacities, Dave provided exceptional leadership at countless training events across the country. In his capacity with CRCID, As well as being a permanent fund national advisor, Dave has presented at numerous district and zone events across the country. Even after his official tenure with CRCID ended, Dave was often called upon to present on this collaboration until it dissolved in 2016 and replaced with the new Government of Canada TRF matching grant program. He has presented and led discussion groups in at least 6 zone institutes and 1 presidential membership conference, as well as being a GETS trainer at 2 zone institutes. Thank you, Dave, for the many years of your exceptional work to Rotarians in our country, around the world, and for your tireless work for the foundation. Next slide, please. Over to you, Dave.
Well, thanks, Brad. I'm truly honored to receive this. I was not expecting it at all, and I'd like to congratulate the other people who've been recognized for their Rotary contributions to the foundation this past year. Very well deserved. And as someone pointed out, there's still a lot of work to be done, so let's keep at it and make this world a better place. Thank you very much. I really appreciate this.
Well, as I said to the others, Dave, thank you for all your continued work. And I was gonna say something. You've been around so long that when we took your picture, color hasn't been developed yet. That's why it's black and white, but I wasn't gonna say that. Okay, that concludes the district awards.
Thank you very much, Brad, and congratulations to all of those award recipients. Very well deserved. And now, Brad, I'd like to call upon you to deliver your thoughts for the year just past. It's been quite a year. I'm sure you have some choice words. So over to you.
That's a good selection of words there, Larry. Thank you very much. Alan, can we put up the slide, please? So this is a bit of a year in review from the district perspective, and I can hardly express my deep gratitude for having the wonderful honor and privilege of serving you as district governor this past year. I'm even more humbled by your commitment, dedication, and spirit as you provided service above self to those in need. You have given your time and resources to help others. One of my goals as district governor was to strive to help each club and each member to have a great Rotary year. And I think we can say that we're on our way in the first 8 months, but have to admit the last 4 months have been challenging. But what we can say is that we have implemented with full force Rotary International's 4th item of its strategic plan priorities, which is increase our ability to adapt. And we have adapted more quickly than planned in using technology to connect with each other and carry on what needs to be done in Rotary. So let's take a brief review from the district perspective. And I have taken the big risk of listing people and activities, knowing that I will have forgotten someone or left something out. So please forgive me for that. So we started off after the installation. We had a visit by RI President Mark Maloney, who did a district reception at Kwantlen Polytechnic University, and he also was a judge at Langley Rib Fest. And for those who were there, you'll notice that you may have noticed as he walked around, he had a big soft stain on his shirt that he got as part of his judging. So we were very pleased to have him. He had a great visit. Thanks everyone for helping out and preparing that visit and for being aides. Next one. Golf Fund. This is the district's, it's the only fundraiser, it's the largest fundraiser because we also do raise funds at the foundation dinner. Past year, we raised $51,000 for annual fund and Polio Plus. And I just wanted to also advertise that Golf Fund 2020 is now open. And as you've heard all our award recipients say, there's still more to do. And we can still support the foundation. And that's what this Golf Fund tournament is, a foundation fundraiser. Even though we won't be on the golf course, clubs can still send in their funds to help support the Rotary Foundation. Next slide. We did district training, we had leadership training, and we had a very interesting Rotary Leadership Institute, the regular one in the fall and coordinated and led by PDG Linda Jean Coyle. We had one in the spring that was regular, parts 1 on one day, or part 2 and 3, pardon me, and part 2 and 3 on each day. But we also had a full weekend one, which was a new one that we tried out, where everyone could take parts 1, 2, and 3 at one sitting over one weekend, and it worked out exceptionally well. We had grant seminars put on by the foundation chair, Malcolm Kennedy, pre-pets, pets, and we also went to weekly training sessions on focused specific topics. Next, please. We also had youth and Rotaract. On this one, you'll not see Ryle up there because we postponed that because of the COVID situation. We did have a number of things go on. As I mentioned earlier, the Rotary Youth Exchange group worked tirelessly throughout the year, but more so from January to July, actually, when we finally sent one of our inbound students back. And it was on a daily basis, and we get weekly updates for that. Interact, Rotaract, and Youth Engaged in Service. They did raise funds. They weren't able to go to Honduras, but they sent the funds down there, so the villages are completing that project. Next slide, please. Membership chair, past District Governor Dennis Boyd, went through about 200 leads that we had from Rotary International over the past 2 or 3 years and cleared the whole thing out. Very grateful for that. Tried the new district, new member orientation. We had one before COVID came along. We're going to try this again in the future, I believe. We're looking at mentorship programs, and he's working very closely with club membership chairs. Unfortunately, this past month has not been great for membership in our district. I think we've lost about 70 people over the past 2 months. So we really need to work on membership. And I'm hoping that we'll have under Dennis's leadership, we'll have an expanded membership committee, which will be doing active service and very proactive service. Next slide. Communications, Dave Duskin, as you know, jumped into this role. He's got an empire of committee of experts. He developed a new district communications plan that was approved. We have a monthly piece, Arch Journals, and we have a new logo. The new logo is actually for us to use as a district. It follows the RI standards. The past one came from a pin, a beautiful pin, which we still wear, but we've used the official logo here. Next one. Foundation. Had a great seminars and great foundation dinner, and our foundation chair, Malcolm, decided, well, why don't we ask for money instead of trying to bring gifts and do a silent auction. And I believe that raised about $7,000, somewhere up at that time. And I just wanted to point out that all the funds were awarded this year. We had 21 district grants, as you can see, and 18 global grants. And this is an approach that the foundation committee has taken to help people with their grant applications in order for them to be successful. And so we've given out all the money that they have given. This is our clubs, our district's members' funds. So we thought they should be given all the funds that they can use that we have each year. Next, please. Now, COVID-19 came along, and you can see the impact here. And I haven't got all of them listed here, obviously, but you can see what's happened, and we responded. District Training Assembly. Rod got our district trainer, Rod Thompson, our Service of Self Award recipient, worked on topics of the number of people to speak, and a lot of computer hosts there as well. We didn't have the district conference. We had Rotary International leaders talking to us and having a chat with us. The Rotary Youth Leadership Awards is postponed, planning for next year. And instead of the convention, we had a virtual convention. Next one, please. We also had a response to Zoom meetings. Both clubs and district are really using that. We have clubs keep working on providing funds and doing projects to help the vulnerable. And you're still actually doing fundraising virtually, some very, very successfully. Thank you for that. And also we had a unique situation to provide COVID-19 grants to the 12 areas in our district. And the assistant governors really worked hard on that. And the presidents of clubs in the areas jumped on it. And all areas took advantage of the $5,000 matching fund that they got from the district, where we tapped into our reserve fund and came up with matching $5,000 to buy medical supplies, equipment, food for food banks or backpacks. So thank you to all those presidents and assistant governors who worked on that, and obviously members who provided those funds. Next slide, please. Now, this is where I want to thank you again for the generosity of Rotarians in District 5050. And I'll just show you those numbers. And one of them called for funds. About the middle of May, beginning of May, I asked if we could raise more funds to get more money from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, with matching funds for the Polio Plus campaign. I believe we're at 36 million. We could be matched up to 50 million. And the last one I heard, I think we're at 48 million to be matched. But you came through. You came through, even in this COVID situation, economic instability came through. And during that month, you raised $38,000 for Polio Plus. And when we get time to get back into the field in this, we will see many, many children being immunized so they will live or not be crippled by polio, because we will fulfill our promise to the children of the world to eradicate polio. Next slide. Now, I should say pre and post COVID lockdown. In the pre-lockdown, you had your district governor who dressed as well as he possibly could and did meet some very royal people. However, post-COVID lockdown was a little different story. He looked quite good from the waist up. So this is the impact it's had on your district governor. Next, please. Here's your board of directors from 2019, 2020. I'd like to thank all of them for all the work that they've done for the district and to help clubs. You've worked very, very hard. We've met very frequently. Mainly one of the reasons is because of the COVID situation. And I want to thank each of those people. And we made a change this year on the board. Next slide, please. We added people. We added the Rotaract Committee Chair, the District Trainer Communications Chair, Youth Services Chair, and an Assistant Governor Representative. The reason for this is all these people work together. We don't work in silos, we work together. So this is not only a governance group, it's also an operational group. And you can see by the people who we added, we have great input, great ideas, and I think we'll be representing the district much better as we have all these people from all of the district. So thank you to that. I'd like to thank the chairs and members of the district committees for their great work and helping support clubs through their programs. Next slide. I'd also like to thank those who will be completing their mission. Actually, they went on further than they should have. And Carly Gillespie, our treasurer, thank you so much for your service. I know you came into a situation that you sort of did a cleanup duty and you said yes again when you went another year beyond your term. So I'm very much thankful for that, very grateful for that. Thank you very much, Treasurer Carly. Next slide. I'd like to thank our assistant governors, and you'll notice that we have Linda Rook and Carol Tichelman in Area A, and Linda is now in Souk, and DGE Carol stepped in the last 2 or 3 months for that. So thank you, DGE Carol. Thank you to all our assistant governors. I've had to call on you many, many times, and you helped your clubs very successfully throughout the year. And as I mentioned earlier, most recently for leading the COVID projects so well and so quickly. The assistant governors and the foundation committee really pushed those through in 2 or 3 days. Amazingly well done. So thank you so much for doing that. And on a personal level, thank you very much for helping me in my year as district governor and the district. The next one, please. We're saying goodbye to 3 others who completed their 3-year terms. Thank you very much for your service over the past 3 years and for helping your areas in those 3 years of service. Now, I'd like to thank, next one, please. I'd like to thank club presidents and members, every Rotarian in District 5050. The club presidents, you've done a wonderful job in leading your club this year, pivoting so quickly in this COVID time. You've guided your club and your members brilliantly and succeeded in your goals and accomplishments. To me, I see clubs as the engines of Rotary, where the work of Rotary gets done, and the club presidents are the engineers. And I'd like to thank my wife, Kim, who some of you did not get to see very much because she's been the head of the University Library at the University of Fraser Valley. However, she gave me so much support in my Rotary work at home and getting prepared, writing things, reviewing things, and giving me support for that. And I'm very, very grateful for that. I could not have done this role as district governor without her support, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you, Kim. I love you, Kim. Now, allow me just to leave you with this message. Globally, we're in a very challenging time in the world with coronavirus, the resulting economic instability, and the racism issue. It's not an issue, it's a fact. So before I go, I'd like to encourage everyone not to waste this crisis, but use it as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and change to evolve into a stronger Rotary, as Rotary is needed more today than ever. Let's remember, the basis of Rotary is friendship. As Paul Harris said, the foundation upon which Rotary is built is friendship. On no less firm foundation could it have stood. We need to continue to be connected by reaching out to our fellow members in whatever way works best as we open new opportunities in the new Rotary year. And personally, I'd like to say you have given me a wonderful gift of serving you as district governor this past year, which has enriched my life beyond measure with the experience of a lifetime. Truly, thank you.
Thank you, Brad. I think we've been very fortunate having you at the helm these last number of months. Thank you. Now, it's a tradition in this district that we would present a gift to our outgoing governor. Things, of course, are going to be a little different this year. Alan, if you would put the slide up. That's the one. Thank you. So this is coming your way, Brad. I'm told that it is to be delivered. It will not be handed over in person. And by the shape of it, I think that it might even include something that, given the past year that you've had, you probably would really enjoy. So congratulations again, Brad, and thank you.
Thank you so much to everyone, and thank you for the gift. I'll look forward to it.
Now, it's now my pleasure to introduce our past Rotary International Vice President, Dean Rohrs. Now, Dean has had a storied Rotary career. She was District 5040's District Governor in 2007-2008. She served as a Regional Rotary Coordinator and a Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator. She's acted as Chair of Pacific Northwest PETS, and from 2016 to 2018 was a Director of Rotary International. Then she capped that off by taking on the role of RI Vice President in 2017-2018. She and Rhino are both members of the Rotary Club of Langley Central. Dean.
Well, good evening, everybody. It is really such an honor to be included in this awards and handover ceremony. Coming in to District 5050 as a newbie and to have been accepted the way that you have and that you've embraced me as part of the 5050 family, I cannot tell you how much this means both to Rhino and myself. I'm so thrilled to be sharing this program tonight with a very, very special friend of mine, and that is past District Governor Lee Higginbottom. I am only who I am in Rotary today because of Lee. There was an occasion in my Rotary life where I was ready to step back from Rotary completely and utterly, but it was Lee that said to me, "No, Dean, accept the challenge and stay with Rotary." So I can remember very clearly that when I became district governor, I called him and I told him. And I can remember that he was the very, very first person that I called after I got the notification that I had been elected as a director for our zones. So thank you, Lee, for your guidance. Thank you for your mentorship. It just shows that Rotarians can be a guiding light to people who come and stand next to them. So as a Rotarian, we have a position to fulfill. And I have been so proud of you this year, Brad, to have seen how you have taken on this role of leadership within your district. I have seen you grow into this role, and I have seen you accept the challenges which came your way, and I am incredibly proud of the way that you handled your job as district governor and where you led District 50/50 through this past year. You didn't sign up for COVID. This is not what you signed up for in your role as district governor. This is not what you trained for as district governor. Suddenly, the curveball of the pandemic came through, but you rose to the occasion. You took the challenge on, head face on, and you rose and made this district stronger and better than what it was before. I watched you with your coffee corner and thought, wow, what an amazing way to unite the district, to bring people together. I saw your constant words of encouragement. I saw the webinars that you led. Look at the results that you shared with us. Your donations to the Rotary Foundation are only what they are in 50/50 because of the leadership that you showed, the team that you put together, and the guidance that you gave everybody. I thank you for the commitment to the Rotary vision of addressing human rights, racism, and unequal representation of all humanity in the communities that we serve, both near and far. So Brad, thank you for your service. Thank you for your year, and congratulations for growing into the leader that you are today. Carol, you are stepping into a new role, a new type of district governor role. Again, it's not what you signed up for when you put your name forward as district governor. That excitement of face-to-face visiting every single one of your clubs. Now the prospect of doing it virtually. The prospect of having a different style of communication. The prospect of taking your passion, but having to direct it into the circumstances that the pandemic is dictating, and also the needs of Rotary. The Rotary vision and mission statement says, together we see a world where people unite and take action in creating lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. I see that in you. I see that you embrace this and that this is your mission in growing, developing Rotary, and supporting the Rotarians in your district. So thank you, Carol. Thank you for being there as the doorkeeper, because you will be opening the door to the Rotary opportunities under your president, Holger Knack. I wish you every success in the world as you step forward and lead District 50/50. So a time ago, at the beginning of Brad's year, I remember I gave the district a challenge. We had come back from the Hamburg Convention, and I had been so fired up by a presentation that I saw by a young man called Chris Wells, a young man from the United Kingdom who did a presentation called Do-Goodery. And really the essence of his message was, we have the opportunity in this world to do good. That is what we say, Rotary does good. We do good in the world. Well, if that it is what we stand for, it is our mission to go out in this world and do goodery. And then you surprised me. You surprised me at an event where you sang a song called Do Goodery. So I'd now like to hand it back to Alan, but thank you again. Brad, Thank you, Carol. Wishing you every luck for the year ahead. Thank you, everybody.
In Rotary, do-goodery, a creed for you and me. Do-goodery, in service to humanity. Do-goodery, promoting harmony. So with our hands we work to keep our waters clean, and with our minds we teach the path of peace. But with our hearts we seek a world that's polio-free. Do-goodery, that's what we do in Rotary.
Thank you, Dean. And it's now my pleasure to introduce past District Governor Lee Higginbotham. Now, Lee has also had an extensive Rotary career. He was District 5040's governor in 1994-95. He served as a Regional Rotary Foundation coordinator and as a director of the Rotary Foundation Canada. Leadership training has been his forte, both at Pacific Northwest Pets and at the International Assembly. He's been known as the trainer of trainers. He was chair of the RI committee, which developed the club leadership plan. I think there's a few of us that remember that. Lee is a longtime member of the Rotary Club of Vancouver Arbutus. I would now call upon Lee to introduce and install our 2020-2021 District Governor. Lee.
Unmute, Lee.
You not can you hear Lee?
Okay. How's that?
There you are.
Okay. Thank you, Larry, for that very kind introduction. District Governor Carroll, past Rotary International Vice President Dean, and Dean, thank you for your very kind words. Immediate past District Governor Brad, past District Governor Larry, all the PDGs who are with us this evening, District Governor-elect Bev, and all Rotarians and guests. And a special shout out to Pat Bond. So nice to see you this evening. Pat is the daughter of a longtime member of my Rotary Club, Jim Fletcher. Well, first, my congratulations to Brad on a very successful year from all accounts. And congratulations to Rod, Larry, and to Dave on a very well-deserved recognition for your service. The District 5050 has been highly active in addressing community needs and in contributing to your Rotary Foundation, the foundation that provides financial support for your service and humanitarian projects. During the past year, the foundation assisted your community service work, as has already been mentioned, with 21 foundation grants and 18 global grants. Now, these grants are the direct result of your donations to the Rotary Foundation. The foundation was started in 1917 when Arch Klump, he was Rotary's 6th international president, and he started an endowment with $26.50. It was a remainder from an international convention. And he said, it seems eminently proper that we should accept endowments for the purpose of doing good in the world. Your districts embrace that goal. You're certainly doing some good, in fact, a lot of good in this world. Our current Rotary International President, Holger Knack's theme is Rotary Opens Opportunities. Well, the worldwide pandemic, as brutal as it is, certainly is providing us with opportunities. There are opportunities for service, opportunities to grow our clubs with our friends and neighbors who see the challenges in their communities and want to be able to help. There are opportunities for online training seminars that reach those otherwise unable to attend in person, and opportunities to continue our club meetings. And we're doing it virtually, just as we are this evening. Well, many of these opportunities have required us to change. And I am grateful to see that Rotary is adapting. Change can be difficult, but it also can be very rewarding. For a good part of my career, I was involved with efforts to induce rapid change into large organizations. But through that experience, I came to see that organizations that embrace change are likely to thrive. On the other hand, organizations that avoid change and fail to adapt often slide into obscurity. You know, many decades ago, Winston Churchill said that change is the price of survival. Change is a constant in our lives, and it's accelerated by our current events. We must not let this rapid change hinder us. We can constructively use this change to grow our membership and make Rotary stronger and even more relevant for our members and to the world's pressing needs. Well, what's it going to take to do this? I mean, it starts with our leaders. Leaders who recognize the need for change. Experienced, action-oriented leaders with a proven track record. Leaders who establish a clear vision and the planning to achieve that vision. Leaders who are effective communicators, effective trainers, and are mentors to their members. The Rotary leaders in the Council and legislation have been working to bring change to our clubs through modified attendance requirements, modified club meeting requirements, new club models, and so on. And the pandemic has shown us that there are other, and at times, better ways to achieve our goals. Rotarians seem to have a boundless supply of ideas and the energy to make them happen. We change our leaders every year. They have only 1 year to achieve their goals, but they get it done. I can't imagine a business or a large corporation of similar size trying to do that. Well, Rotarians make it happen because Rotarians focus on their goals. Because your DG and district officers and committees support your clubs with their resources. The resources of training, information, goal setting, their business skills, and their mentoring. Your new DG and leadership team provide your clubs with access to significant Rotary resources and extensive personal experience. This evening, I'm very honored to take part in the installation of some of your leaders, District Governor Carroll and your assistant governors. As Carol mentioned, I've known her for many years. I know she's a very capable Rotary leader. She's demonstrated commitment to her club, to your district, and to Rotary International. Now, I'm sure you all know her very well, but let me briefly touch on the experience she brings to her leadership role. She joined Rotary in Prince George and later moved to Chilliwack and became the president of the Rotary Club at Chilliwack. Twice. She served as district trainer for 3 years, as your 2009 district conference chair. And she has been a part of the faculty for the Rotary Leadership Training Institute since 2007. She served as an assistant governor, was an instructor at Pacific Northwest Pets, and served as their board chair for this past Pets. Attended many Rotary International conventions and has even traveled to Brazil on a friendship exchange. Carol has demonstrated her commitment to your district with her actions and for her tireless unity efforts District Governor Carroll was recognized with the Service Above Self Award, the highest award available for a Rotarian. But in addition, Carol is a multiple Paul Harris Fellow, a major donor and a benefactor of the Rotary Foundation. She is a recipient of the RI Avenues of Service citation, and I have no doubt whatever that your district is going to be in very good hands. So I'm honored to have the privilege of installing Carol as your district governor this evening, which I would now like to do. Carol, you have been selected by the members of District 5050 to guide its affairs during the coming year. You have been entrusted with an important responsibility. It's an expression of the district confidence in your leadership ability. This year, your strong leadership will be needed as we live through and adapt to a period of great disruption in every facet of our communities. And while adapting to this change, we must continue doing good in the world, helping those who are in much more dire situations than us, and continue our fight to eradicate polio. Carol, I'll ask you to pledge to accept the responsibility of leading your district as an officer of Rotary International and to serving your district members. Could you please raise your right hand? And I'd like you to respond with the words, "I will," to the following pledge of office. As an officer of Rotary International, do you solemnly pledge that you will faithfully execute the office of Governor of Rotary International, District 5050, and that you will, to the best of your ability, give support and assistance to its clubs and to Rotary International, and that you will uphold the Constitution and the bylaws of Rotary International?
I will.
Thank you, and congratulations, Carol. I declare you installed as the Governor of District 5050, and I know that you will have a very successful year. Back to you, Larry.
Thank you, Lee. Congratulations, Carol. Now, it's another tradition in our district that we pass a banner, and this is the Home of the District Governor banner, and it is displayed at the home club of the past district governor, the home club of the current district governor, and it's passed from the past district governor's home club to the new club. Well, once again, it's a little bit different this year because it so happens that our immediate past district governor, Brad, and the new district governor, Carol, are both from the same Rotary Club. So Alan, I would ask you if you would please put up the slides now to show the passing of the Home of the District Governor banner from past President Michael Berger to current President Shelley McDonald. That's great. Thank you, Alan. And Lee, we have another job for you. We're going to ask you to also install the assistant governors. And I will just list their names for you and then turn it over to you to conduct the installation. They are Joan Appel, Alan Asaf, Becky Eld, Bruce Enter, Jorda Macy, Alfred Marchie, Kim McClandress, Connie Milliken, Sean O'Donnell, Christine Palmerton, Dwayne Rhodes, and Alan Sterngard. Lee.
Assistant Governors, it's a pleasure to meet you this evening. By accepting this position, you are agreeing to serve Rotary District 5050 and to support the clubs that you have been assigned. You're also agreeing to support District Governor Carroll, the goals of your district, 5050, and Rotary International President Holger Knack. You're also agreeing to visit your assigned clubs on a regular basis, either in person or doing it virtually. In doing this, you will foster the ideals of Rotary, and you will be a mentor to the club leaders and their members. You commit to helping us create a polio-free world and to encourage support for our Rotary Foundation. If you agree to accept these duties, please raise your right hand and respond with "I will" to the following pledge. Do you solemnly pledge that you will fulfill the duties of your office to the best of your ability, that you will support District Governor Carroll and will abide by Rotary's Constitution and bylaws? If you agree, please answer with "I will."
I will.
Well, thank you, Assistant Governors. I therefore declare you installed to your respective offices. Congratulations. With your leadership and with the support of your clubs, you will make this world a better place, not only for now, but for generations to come. Thank you. Larry.
Thank you, Lee. So at this time, Carol, now that you've been newly installed, perhaps you'd like to say a few words. You need to unmute her.
I need to unmute, yeah. I thought I didn't think I was a slow learner, but that gets me every once in a while. Thank you, Larry. Good evening, fellow Rotarians, family, and friends. It is truly an honor to serve as District Governor of this amazing district for the 2020-2021 Rotary year. To Lee Harmon, Rod Thompson, Larry Stinson, and Dave Robinson, congratulations. I have had the pleasure to work with all of you over the last 25 years that I have been in this district, and your recognitions are so well deserved. I am blessed to call you all mentors and friends. To Lee Higginbotham, thank you so much for being my inspiration when you gave your governor's speech to the Rotary Club of Prince George almost 26 years ago. We often joke about the governor's visit being a meeting to miss. Your challenge during your governor's speak to become the best Rotarian possible has stayed with me as a guiding principle of how I should try to fulfill that challenge. It's an honor to have you here to install me and the Assistant Governor team tonight, as it was when you answered the call when I called you in 2005 to install me as president and the board of the Rotary Club of Chilliwack. It's so nice to see you and Phil again, and we will try to get together in person when we can. To Kevin and Pat, recipients of the Ron Goldfinch Award, congratulations and so well deserved. On a personal note, I was very happy when then District Governor Dennis Boyd initiated this award. Ron was one of my best friends. He really wanted to be governor one day, so I am dedicating this coming year of service in his memory. To Brad and Kim, it has been so wonderful to share the governor journey with you. The last 3.5 years have been a real experience for both Brad and his amazing wife, Kim. And I have been privileged to have shared that journey over the past 2.5 years. I considered them friends prior to these shared experiences. And I can say that my respect and affection for both of them has grown and deepened over this time. Brad, this year did not end the way you planned. However, I could not think of a better leader to have tackled the challenges of a pandemic, as Dean so appropriately commented. Your encouragement and actions led the members of our district at every level to learn how to do Rotary in these challenging times, and not just survive, but to thrive. I am so proud of the clubs and Rotarians in this district, adapting to the new normal and serving your communities and your members with thoughtful action. Rotarians are people of action, and you proved it in spades over these last 4 months. When we come out of the other side of this pandemic, I truly believe that our clubs will be more incredible, more dynamic, and much more connected and effective than we were in the old normal. Rotary President Holger Kanak asked 4 things of the incoming governors at the International Assembly in January. Goodness, that was only 6 months ago, but it seems like a decade. He said Rotary is not just a club that you join, it's an invitation to endless opportunities. It opens opportunities to serve in a project as big as End Polio Now, and also in a small community project where you plant a seedling. Everything we do opens another opportunity for someone, somewhere. His first ask of us was to create new innovative club models to help expand outreach by creating a satellite club or community-based Rotaract club. His second ask was that each club have at least one strategic meeting asking, what should our club look like in 5 years? And what steps should we take to achieve this vision? What value do we bring to our members? His third ask was select new members carefully. Make sure they're a good fit with your club and that the club meets their expectations. Engage them and take care of them. There is no wrong age to become a Rotarian. And his fourth ask was to continue your club's efforts to end polio by donating to End Polio Now. We must fulfill our promise that we made to the children of the world. And our district is very proud history of supporting that promise. It is now 6 months since International Assembly. Our lives have changed, but the goals to open opportunities have not. We are Rotarians, and we must remain optimistic and continue to seek opportunities to engage members, grow Rotary membership, fundraise, and perform service projects, depending on which side of our district you live on. Rotary opens opportunities. And Alan, could you put up that slide, please? How prophetic to come after last year's theme of Rotary Connects the World as we work through a pandemic. Next slide, please. And if there is a viable treatment or vaccine, next May, Chilliwack's doors will be open. Building on the RI theme of Rotary Opens Opportunities, these 6 doors in this graphic represents the 4 Rotary clubs, the Rotaract Club, and the Interact clubs in Chilliwack. We will be offering homestay along with a home-hosted dinner on Friday night of the conference. We have a great lineup of speakers, borrowing in part from this year's canceled conference. Next slide, please, Alan. We will be celebrating the 2019-2020 leadership, and we'll host a cocktail party for them as we celebrate together. Next slide, please, Alan. And of course, we will be celebrating the district and club leadership and successes in this Rotary year. Next slide, please. And we will have lots of opportunities to showcase our beautiful city, including a tour at the new Molson Coors Brewery, a Circle Farm tour, an excursion to the Blue Heron Interpretive Center and Rotary Trails, to name just a few. Next slide, please. So mark your calendars. We look forward to welcoming everyone to Chilliwack in May 2021, hoping that we can get together at that time. Thank you, Alan. On a personal note, thank you to my family for your love, encouragement, and support. And for those of you that could join us tonight, I love you. I miss you. To my friends from outside of District 5050, thank you to my classmates, Kathy and Dave. The journey together in our training has developed very special friendships. and to past District Governor Ezra Tichelman for allowing me to join you 11 years ago as part of your amazing team doing annual national immunization days in Ethiopia. Those trips have been a very special part of my life. To my dear best friend, Gail, past president of the Calgary West Club, who taught me a Rotary membership lesson and who has been on most of those NIDs with me, Rotary International Conventions, and we've traveled extensively together ever since we met over 40 years ago. To past District Governor Dan and Marlene, who Gail brought along on an NID and then another, and I now consider my friends, and to Ben Abe, past president of the Seattle University Club, who has been on each of those NIDs in Ethiopia, and then led a smaller team for amazing service opportunities in Uganda. You are friends that I met because of Rotary. You are a gift and an amazing part of my life, and thank you for sharing tonight with us. And now I would like to end by sharing one of my Rotary moments. I was so lucky to be raised in a wonderful family. We were not wealthy, but we were rich with values, faith, respect, love, and many other things I treasure. I have 3 brothers, 2 of whom you've met tonight. I was daddy's girl. Mom loved me deeply, but we did not have a strong mother-daughter bond or friendship. We clashed often, and when I was an adult, it was often about my involvement in Rotary. We are Catholic. She always questioned me about why I was spending so much time volunteering for Rotary and not doing that work through the church. I'm really involved in my church, but one still wanted me to do all of my volunteer work through the church. My father passed away in 1996 at the age of 68. Following Dad's death, I always included Mom in my travel plans, including my company conferences. In 2004, my Rotary Club planned a trip to deliver a container load of wheelchairs to Mexico. And Mom came with me and 19 other fellow club and family members. And Larry, you were on that trip. Like most Rotary International Service projects, there are profound moments. And this one was on the first day, and my mom uncharacteristically turned to me with tears streaming down her face, and she said to me, "You are truly doing God's work on earth." Mom, who at that time had metastatic breast cancer, worked tirelessly the following days from dawn till dusk as we delivered the gift of mobility. The following year, I was president of my Rotary Club. And Mom would drive out from Vancouver to Chilliwack about an hour's drive each way on many Fridays to attend our Rotary Club meetings. That year, Mom became a multiple Paul Harris Fellow. And 2 years later, Mom became a legacy donor to the Rotary Foundation, our foundation. That shared Rotary experience in Mexico allowed me to become best friends with my mother in her last 4 years. Rotary truly changes lives in ways that we might never imagine. Thank you all, and I look forward to serving as District Governor in District 5050 this year. Back to you, Larry.
Thank you, Carol, and we all wish you much success. Fellow Rotarians and special guests, that brings us to the close of our program today. I believe the link will remain open for a while for those who would like to offer their congratulations to Brad and Carol or to just visit. Thank you to everyone for making this a memorable event, albeit in challenging times. And remember, be kind, be calm, and be safe. Thank you.